let me just say, there's a lot of videos where the girl's face look perfect and they don't even have like one sort of pimple on them. And it's like, where are my acne girlies? We have acne, we want to cover it up, but it's like, oh, y'all got clear skin, so how's that gonna help me? So I've decided that is where I'm going to come in and give you guys my full in-depth tips and tricks and all my techniques, what I use, and just literally give you all the tea on how I make my base look super good, bestie, with acne. Hi my besties! Welcome back to my channel if you are part of the SB's besties. But if this is your first time seeing my face, hello Miss Girl, welcome. My name is Esperanza and I am your hyper girly girl who loves all things beauty. Real quick, if I sound a little bit raspy, I am still recovering from being sick, but that is why we're doing our makeup because I have just been bleh. I'm going to be teaching you how to get a flawless base and still look like a baddie while you still have acne. Just real quick, texture is normal and makeup will not get rid of it. Skincare does. But we're not talking about skincare today. So y'all ready to slay? Real quick, this is my acne. My face is pretty controlled at the moment. I'm currently having some active breakouts. I do have combination skin. Some parts are more drier than others and some parts are more oily. Like my T-zone, I get very dry around here. That's where my makeup starts to crack a lot. I get very dry around here. Like sometimes throughout the day, I'll just be like itching right here. So all that really does play into how your makeup goes on and what your skin needs for your base. So let's get y'all zoomed in and let's get ready to slay. Alright, we up close and personal. Okay, so first things first that I am going to talk about with you guys is skin prep. I'm not going to be applying it because I already applied these products after my shower, so that is why my skin is nice and glowy, which is what you want. So my first tip to you to keep in mind is that how your base looks before you apply makeup is how your makeup will look. If you just wake up, you don't wash your face, you have a lot of dirt, you have buildup, you just have yesterday's day on your face, you have dry flakes, your skin's dry, that's going to be accentuated by makeup. Did I say that right? Accentuated? You know what I mean. Enhanced by makeup. I promise you it makes the biggest difference. The second thing that is so important is moisturizer. Moisturizer is recommended for everybody, even if you have oily skin, especially dry skin. Everybody needs to be moisturized, baby. I love the Neutrogena Hyaluronic Acid, especially for spring. It's so lightweight. It's a water-based moisturizer, so it will just soak instantly into the skin, which is what I love. If you have severely dry skin, I highly recommend going in with a thicker moisturizer, but personally I'm just going to put in some more moisturizer around my nose because that is where I mainly crack throughout the day because I'm just really dry right here for some reason. It's time to add on a little more boost of hydration. This product is optional. I have been using this since in middle school. I think it makes the biggest difference because it just adds that extra boost of hydration. It even says on here itself that this uplifts and sets makeup. It just makes your skin look so nice and dewy. It is the Heritage Store Rosewater. It is so bomb. I did not apply this yet. I don't know why I covered my face. I just thought everything would anyway. The next product I'm going to take is some eye cream. Now, I love this just because my eye bags do get a little bit dry. And I feel like they always just look so splotchy underneath. So if you find that your eye bags just look a little splotchy or like your makeup is coming off, it just doesn't look right, try an eye primer. It actually might make the biggest difference. Now that we have our skin prep done, it is time to move on to primer. Primer is actually important. Now, people who have clear skin, they don't need primer because their skin is clear. For us acne-prone girlies, we need something. Our skin is probably in combination skin because of the acne. We got oils, excess oils, which is what caused the acne. So if you have combination skin, I got you. So remember, when using primer, make sure you use primer that works for you. And make sure that your primers on the ingredients to make sure that they do not separate in this process because this can mess up your makeup. If your makeup separates throughout the day, make sure your primers are the same. Silicone and silicone or water and water. And make sure that your foundation is either water or silicone. You cannot mix because water and silicone scientifically do not mix, so they will separate on your face as well. I remember when I watched a makeup tutorial and she said that and I ran to my collection and saw that, my mouth literally dropped. I was like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. And that was one of the main reasons why my makeup was crazy. So for primers today, I'm going to be going in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is the blurring one. This helps with your pores. I love this one because it is water-based. I lost the spatula sadly, so I'm just going to go in with my fingers. I love a pore filling primer. It makes the biggest difference for us acne girlies, because we need something to fill in those holes, okay? Our skin is uneven. Just think of it like dirt. There's just little holes everywhere. And we have to find like a cement or some sort of cover that fills in the holes and just makes a smooth base for the property to sit on. I don't know where I was going with that, but you know what I mean? So we need to make sure our base is nice and smooth. So I like to keep this in the areas that have acne, or it's just my T-zone. So I like to really work this in, especially my nose area, because that's where I have a lot of blackheads. So I'm going to let that sink in. Now I'm going to be moving on to the e.l.f. Power Grip. This is the one with niacinamide. I love that this has niacinamide, so it's really, really good for our skin, if you did not know that. And since it is a Power Grip Tacky Primer, we want to keep the tackiness because this is what's going to make our makeup last. So I really just start focusing around the dry areas and the parts where I didn't apply that primer yet, because I really want that product to soak and sink in first before I mix the two. Now, if you have severely dry skin, I highly recommend using the Milani Drench. It's like in a white bottle, I think. I use it on my cousin whose skin was so dry, and she looked beautiful. And just remember to pat this onto your face. Don't do that at all, actually, because we want to keep that tacky. Now I feel like our face is starting to stick. Product test. It works, bestie. Yes, I did it. I always wanted to do that. That's how you know your makeup is going to stick, babe. To really give that extra boost of hydration, go back in with the Rosewater. Now that we did our primer, we are going to be moving on to the third step, which is color correcting. I feel like a lot of girlies do not talk about this really at all. I'm not going to be bluffing, okay? I was not really into color correcting at all. I've seen celebrities do it, but not a lot of like YouTuber girlies did it, so I didn't think it was needed. You know what I mean? You know, we all follow what we watch. I'm in a makeup class and that is what is talked about, is color correcting. I decided to give it a try and it makes the biggest difference, okay? Because no matter how much product you can put on your face, if your acne is really, really red, it can still shine through your foundation and everything. If you have really bad eye bags, purple eye bags, puffy eye bags, right now they're not purple as bad. Sometimes they're just really, really purple. These, I think, were like $3-4 each. Okay, they're by e.l.f. I absolutely love e.l.f. Color correcting makes the biggest difference. So the first thing I'm going to go in with is this red color corrector by e.l.f. as mentioned before. I'm going to put this just a little bit underneath my eyes. I'm going to let that sit just a little bit because I want it to build some sort of coverage before I blend it out. Then I'm going to go in with the green color corrector. I'm going to go in and apply this over my problem areas, which is literally the whole center parts of my cheeks, sadly, but it is. Especially right here. I feel like once my makeup comes off, that area just looks really, really bad. So we look crazy, but watch the magic happen. Now we're gonna take a wet beauty blender and I'm gonna go in and start blending out our corrector. As you see, as I start blending this out, the red is going to start canceling out that purple underneath our eye bags. And you really want to make sure that the color correctors are blended into the skin very, very well. We do not want to have any harsh lines because it's not going to blend with that foundation and it's going to look bad. So make sure you just blend it in where it looks almost natural. And as you see for the green, this is canceling out the redness automatically off the bat. It's just really, really nice that no matter how green this corrector is, when you blend it in, you can't really see that green look to it, and I really like that because some color correctors are really green and hard to blend out. This is our face, color corrected. It looks crazy, but I promise you it makes the biggest difference when you go to apply your makeup. It's just so stunning. I just love the way the green color corrector just canceled out the redness. I love how glowy and dewy our face is. It's just so stunning. It looks like glass. That is what we want. It's just so beautiful. So if you guys want an in-depth skincare routine, I can definitely do one for y'all so you guys can achieve this beautiful skin and help with your texture, which will then help with your makeup, because makeup will not get rid of texture. Skincare does. The next product I'm going to go in with is the NARS Soft Matte Radiant Concealer. I'm sure you guys seen all the beauty gurus use this. Every time I use this, I think Naked Tutorials. I love her. They were not playing about the soft matte concealer, okay? It is expensive, but it does the job. It's more of a thicker consistency, but it's like butter, and you do not need a lot. I am going to apply this right on top of my problem areas on a flat brush that is more towards my skin tone. The coverage on this is insane. And it's just, it blends out like a dream. It's just so beautiful. This is just one product I would definitely buy over and over. Because it's just like the worst feeling when you buy all this makeup, go to put it on, and then it's like your acne just comes shining through like a couple hours later. And it's like, babe, I did not put on all this makeup just to have my acne shine through again. We ain't about to have that. I'm gonna spot conceal. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And voila. And then I really like to put this on top of my nose as a base for my foundation to sit on. I feel like my makeup always slides off or just looks the most craziest on my nose, especially on the sides. And I feel like ever since I put this NARS concealer on my nose just looks so much more flawless throughout the day, because my nose gets like super extra oily and stuff, and then around here it gets extra dry. So just having this little extra barrier of this concealer is amazing. After we do our concealer, this is how our skin is looking. It looks beautiful. Our skin looks neutralized. It doesn't even look like we have acne on the face. My camera, I didn't even know had like a blurring filter on it, but I took it off specifically for this video so you guys can see real skin with makeup. And even though I have acne, the skin is still giving. So now that we have our correcting done, then you are basically ready to move on and go put on your foundation, your concealer, and all of that, and finally finish your makeup. So that concludes the end on how I cover up my acne and really get my face ready for makeup. If you guys enjoyed and thought that this was helpful and you guys learned at least one thing, make sure you show some love down below and let YouTube know that this video will be helpful for other girlies like you who are in the same boat. Let's all slay together. I promise you it is super easy, and just these little things will definitely enhance your makeup. Now before you leave, I know you probably were expecting to do foundation and concealer and all of that stuff, but if you are, no worries, because I'm actually filming that video right after this one. So if you want to learn how I transform into that after doing this whole process right here, then make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you stay tuned, because that video is probably coming out, or it is already out and it's somewhere on the screen for you guys. Just make sure you stay tuned so then we can now slay our base. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, tips, opinions, or anything like that down below, or you just want to chit chat, go ahead and comment. I love talking to you guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys every single time I upload. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.